So, hello, good evening guys, and welcome back to a Monday night OTL. This season 5, round 12, and tonight we head to Spa. 10 races to go in the championship, so we're very much starting to head for home. And it is very, very close between the top 4 in the championship. ENTXJ leads the way, he's on 187 points. Chubby Slug trailing by just 12. He is also tied for second in the championship. Chubby Slug and Nelly both on 175. So 12 points separating the top 3. And then we get Rob Wills, another 12 behind. He's on 163, sitting in 4th in the championship. So this is very much on with 10 races to go. Every mistake now will be critical to their championship challenge. But by God, has it been a good one so far. We've got Alpine leading the way in the championship. They're in 322 points. Then we've got Red Bull on 292, so only 30 points in the Constructors' Championship. Then it's Mercedes and P3, they're in 290, so they're very much in play as well, as is Alpha Tauri in 285. I guess you couldn't even count out Alfa Romeo in 269. Only 50 points separating the top 5 in the Constructors. Then we've got McLaren in P6, they're on 249, Ferrari in P7 and 230, Aston Martin in P8 on 211, Haas in P9 on 180, and Williams in P10 on 115. So, on to this evening. Spa. Short amount of laps in a 50% race, only 22. The track of no wing, we could say, this year's game. Good evening, Stephen, Skarma, Rob, and Jay. I hope yous are well. Hope all are well. It's good to see OTL back live. And now we just wait on the lobby starting. So let's actually look at who is elsewhere in the championship. We can quickly do that while we wait. We got the top 4, but it'd be nice to see if anybody is sitting pretty close outside that top 4. Could they mount a challenge? Of course, 10 races to go, so a lot of points on offer. And I guess we could say Matty, 147. He's only 16 points behind Rob. He's 40 points off the top of the championship. So yeah, I could say Matty is very much in it. If Pelly could start to string some results, he's in 130, as is Kristaps. A driver on charge, this is going to be one to watch. Let's see how Stephen's results keep up. Well, let's actually have a look at his string of results, because I'm pretty sure they've been very good. He's 9th in the championship and 4 podiums out the last 4 races, 3 of them being wins and 1 third. So Stephen is very much the driver in form in OTL at the moment. 4 wins, got pole position and fastest lap, and driver of the day at Spain, so a very good day in the office there. He got the win at Australia and a win in the sprint, so that was good points gained. So he's got himself all the way back up to 120, or up to 125 points, and well inside that top 10 in the championship. So he's going to be one to watch. Then we get Skarma P11, Shift 12, Connor 13, then Dixie will be 14, Michelando 15, Leon 16, Ryan 18, Nude Potato 19, Leighton P20, and then it's just reserves thereafter. So we get going out onto track 2. What is, oh my days, a very, very, very rain soaked Belgium. Not surprising, it's pretty common for Spa, but the drivers' hearts, or some of them, will have just sank. Some will be very happy with the wet conditions, but full wets. Kristaps on the intermediate tyre, but for the puddles I see in track, I don't see much in terms of intermediate running going to be here. Good evening, Mick. I hope you are well. I'm a Spa. Thanks. I make people feel good. Nah. So somebody is braving the weather, and it is Mr. SPW heading out onto track in his Alpine. And let's just see, we'll go on board. We'll have a little watch. Even on the outlap, of course, tyres will be slightly under the temperature window. Let's just see how Stephen feels his way around in and out of that. He's taking it nice and easy, and you see there, just when he turned in the car, instantly the rear, the second he got on the steering, really the car tried to break away. So that could be temperature related, could be the weather. Of course, if they're expecting a dry race, they're going to be running incredibly low wing, which is going to make the corners tremendously treacherous. So a whole plethora of cars out on track now. I think most of the grid's starting to make some headway. Mr. Rage and Leighton, the no assist gang, my SBS buddies, running back at OTL, I think both full time, but of course running fully no assist, so don't expect them to be running away with it. I expect them to be right in the thick of the competition, and a good proving ground for them to learn and get better. Of course, SPW, one of the no assist gangs as well. I think it's only SPW, Leighton and Mr. Rage now. So let's stay with SPW and see if we can keep it nice and clean. And we'll get a nice on-board lap of, or I won't say so much nice, it won't feel nice for him, but we will watch an on-board in the treacherous conditions of how he goes about business in a hot lap, braking at about 110 metres, so nice and early. Squeeze in 4th gear and see how tentative it has to be in throttle, short shift to 5th gear. It's on the power nicely, not too much wheel spin. Heading down towards now, down through Eau Rouge, then up over Radion, has to have a big lift in the front of the car, just not responding at all. So here's a big moment, that's going to invalidate the lap. There's Nude Potato having a bit of a spin. I think Surge is going to be the next man on the now lap, on a hot lap, so he is, so we'll stay with Surge. We'll see how he gets on. Coming up the Kettle Straight, up to turn 4. And you see just how gentle the drivers are having to be. So comes through Puyon. Steady on the throttle application. He boxed doing some funny things. 3rd gear through the chicane. Oh, Skarma, what did you do? Skarma, what have you done? What did you do? That's wet, it's not okay. Yeah, Spa were ruthless in the wet. Rather used than me. I hope we get a dry one on Wednesday, honestly. So I think Surge is going to be the pace setter. Into the last chicane he goes. Stephen does set a 2017, so I think I picked up an invalidation off his moment, and it'll be a 205 for Surge, so if PW does get a valid lap, where does Nelly go though? It's a 215 for Nelly, slots into P or provisional pole. Let's further down the order, let's see, we'll go on board with Leighton. He's coming up to the bus stop chicane, he's in a big moment and he can't keep it out of the wall, he does. No ABS, able to lock the front tyres up and just stop the front spiking into the wall, saved his braking massively there, only takes some front wing damage, so he'll need to come into the pits to repair that damage. With his chubby slug, he's coming down towards bus stop chicane. To the line he goes, and I think Matoman here to go on to provisional pole. Yes, he does the 213, so another 2/10 gain for Matoman. And who was that? Michelando slots up to P4 and a 201.9, and Nude Potato P5 and a 202.1. Chris Stips coming up over Radion. Let's go on board with Pelly. I think we've got Marty just about to come to the line as well. I'll watch his time and see where he pops himself to. think that is him coming out the bus stop chicane. And I think he was maybe invalidated. So Pelly through bus stop. Oh, he's got no wing. I didn't even notice that. So Pelly's heading into the pits. Alvin Evans on track in OTL. It's good to see him here. I think it's a grid where he can show a little bit more of what he's made of. Oh, and he picks up an invalidation through Poo on, so that'll be that lap over. How is Dixie getting on? He's coming up to bus stop chicane now. We'll watch the Mercedes man. Does he keep it nice and tidy? A little bit deep on the brakes, but I think he'll get away with that. First gear is bold and brave in the wet conditions. Heading towards the line though, a little bit of oversteer. And he goes a 202.6, slots himself inside top 7. Not a bad lap at all there from Adam. There's Rob Wells getting on his evening. We've got some fuel on board. He's 8/10 up second run, which will bring him into a mid .2. Has Mika Lando now improved in his second run, goes up to 1.6. Into the top 3 is Nelly, goes up into P1. Oh, I got your... I did. I'm sorry, Leighton. I do apologise, sir. So Rob Will's going to improve. I think we'll see him go up inside the top 5 here. And he goes to P3, so 201.3. His new potato now goes to 2 minute 0.6 up to P2. And I think this will be the theme of the session. It's just going to be a case of watching drivers go round as they find their way around the conditions. Shiv up a big chunk of time. So let's see where he goes now, going towards the line. It's going to be a 203.4, he goes up to P10. How is Rage getting on? He's a little behind. Alvin Evans is on a second run as well. Good evening, Mr. Evans. Is this Leon in the chat? I thought, oh, obviously, Alvin's is driving, stupid. Ian TXJ got himself up onto the front row. Nelly's now finished in his run. Ian TXJ is not on one. Nope, Potatoes invalidated, Chopper Slug in the pits. See how Rob Wells is getting on. And Noob Potato behind Rob's on an invalidated run, so Rob can just keep his head down, not worry about the car behind. Be very careful with that curb on the inside. And Dixie now goes up to P4, a 2 minute dead, 0.7, that is a... Yeah, Paul binned it. He did, Mr. Evans. Mr. Leon. So Dixie putting in a tremendous lap there as SBS Rage now goes up to P2 and a 2 minute 0.3. Rob Wilson, I think he is up. Is he going to carry us to the line? Alvin Evans now goes up with a 2 minute dead. Are we going to see somebody get into the 1 minutes here? And is the track starting to come to the drivers? Nelly appears to have gone on to the intermediate compound tyres as Rob Wells now does breach the 1 minute 59. It's a 59.7 for Rob, and now he's on to provisional pole. We're just under halfway in the session. And who takes the next guy? We'll get Shiv now, 1.1 seconds up. Is he going to come to the line? Yes, he is. So I think we're going to see Shiv gain a chunk of position in here. To the line he goes, and he goes up to P10 on a 2 minute 1.5. Stevens invalidated his run. And all change at the front. Rage now another half a second up. So watching Alvin Evans coming down the hill towards Puon. How much speed does he dare carry? Not too bad, and it does look, if you look at the skies above here as we come down the hill, it certainly looks a bit brighter than it was at the start of the session, so maybe intermediates are going to come into play here as we see drivers further down the order start to switch onto that tyre. We have got Stephen back out in the full wets, so maybe it's right at the crossover and the inter's going to come in right at the end, or is people taking a risk? Whereas Steven just made a mistake. Alan Evans 6.5 tenths up, so he's going to absolutely blitz Rob's lap at this point, and I think this is track evolution. I think it's starting to dry up a bit, and naturally the track then will get a little bit faster, carries much more speed into bus stop chicane as Mr. Rage now goes to 58.6, so that's how much the track's coming in. Rage of course will be finding his feet as well with the conditions, running no line, refinding his braking points. Alvin Evans only finds 2.5 tenths and end up to 59.8, 6 minutes left in the session. Nude Potato now 9.5 tenths up, so he's good here for a 59.7. So Con eyeing up the front row of the grid yet again here in this run. He's got McLaren not far ahead. That's Shiv. Is he getting into the pits? No, Shiv maybe on an improving lap here. Con off the last corner, squeezes on that pivot. And where can Con go? He's up to the front row. It's a 59.5 from Nude Potato. Alvin Evans has got off his lap. Shiv gets himself up to P6 on a 2 minute dead point 2, so track evolution very much in play. So are we going to see Steven going for the intermediate compound tire? Let's actually go on board with Nelly, see how he's getting on. So he's just coming to open a lap. So we'll get a very good indication now of where the track is at in terms of tyre. Driver's doing a bit to stay out of the way of Nelly, good stuff. So Nelly down towards Otl-Season, and Dixie gets a 5-second time penalty, or 5 penalty for illegal blocking. That's interesting. So Nelly, a sector split inbound, only really one corner on the first sector, so we might not get a true indication. Still a 10.5 up on the intermediate compound though, but this is where the Inter will really start to pull in the lap time. So we'll stay with him as he comes through the middle sector. He's got Mika Lando, I think, not far behind. But Mika, I think that Haas will have just picked up a lap in validation there with how wide he went. Definitely looked like he strayed off track. So Nelly down towards Puyon. Puyon will also give a good indication if there's more speed in the track. 130 mile an hour, definitely I think that's one of the fastest we've seen. That was 130 at the apex. Rob Wills now, the first of the top 40, got himself onto that intermediate compound tyre. So Nelly's got another sector split coming up just round this corner. And there we go, 1.9 seconds up. So Inter is the tyre in play for sure. If you're on that wet tyre now, you're on the wrong tyre. And you very much want to box and get yourself onto the green side wall tyre. I said tyre too much there, sorry chap. So Nelly, most definitely about to go into provisional pole, but this is going to be for me, whoever starts that last lap the latest. 2.4 second gain, 57.7 from Nelly. So, Inter, the tyre to be on. Try to see if we get any further ahead. Steven's running out lap. Barely having a bit of a moment. Leighton just in an out lap. So Rob half a second up in his first sector, so this is where we're seeing the track just getting better and better. I don't think we're ever going to see any dry tyres because we're getting close to the end of the session now. 2 minutes to go, so if drivers are not leaving now, they probably won't get a lap in. In fact, if they're not left already. And I think Rob is going to have timed this nicely. if he can just continue on and go for another run, he won't be far away from getting 2 runs in here and starting that second run right at the end of the qualifying session, which is where I think you're going to want to, when you're going to want to primarily start your lap here. The later you can make it, the better. Drivers doing their best to get out of the way of Rob there. Hopefully I didn't unsight him too much. 2.6 seconds up, so Rob going way into the low 57s here, probably into the 56s by the time the end of the lap comes. Coming up to the bus stop scheme, has a little lift and a downshift. I think he maybe even used the brakes as well. Nearly goes to 56.4, so pressure's on Rob. He's got to get bust up nice and tidy. Using second gear, that's very, very brave indeed. Where does Rob go? It's going to be a 56.3. He takes provisional pole by half a tenth at the moment. But where are the others at? Dixie gets himself up to P4. It's a 57.8 for him. And still needing 1.5 seconds to get the job done. So when is the checkered flag going to fall? Any of those going to lose out? We get 30 seconds to go in the session. So I think Kristaps is going to miss the checkered flag. I think he will be the first to take on. He might actually just get through. And then it's SPW coming through. So Stevens timed this very nicely. With 15 seconds to go, he should be able to get this last lap open, no problem at all. He's just got to hope that now being so close to Kristaps pushing on, that nothing can be done. So Chubby Slug retires from the session and Stephen goes on to provisional pole. Never even realised he was on a lap. It's a 55.6 and he has absolutely smashed Rob Bell's lap time, and he's been able to get that lap underway with the last lap before the checker flag. He'll have plenty of energy, so Stephen's going to be the man to watch. Pelly not improving through the first sector. ENT and Jage on an invalidated lap. Let's filter through the order, find out who is the lead man on a lap here. I think it could be Nelly. Yes, it is. Nelly 9/10 up now, so Nelly got into the 55s, also maybe a mid 55 inbound. Low 55 also possible. Mika Lando retires from the session. He's dropped it. Coming out the first corner in sector 3, so Nelly into bus stop chicane. Can he dislodge SPW for now from that pole position spot? Off the bus stop he comes, he gets a very good exit to the line, he goes. Is it going to be provisional pole? It is. It's a 55.5 by nearly 2/10 of a second. Nelly gets the car onto provisional pole. What about Rob Wills? He's coming through bus stop now. He's got to just squeeze the power in. He'll be next to take the flag. Can he dislodge Nelly now? He can. It's a 55.4 by 7/100ths of a second. He now gets ahead of Nelly. Dixie gets himself up to P4. What about Leighton? We'll go on board with the Red Bull man. I think he's got Shiv just ahead. Oh, and he may pick up an invalidation. He's going to have to get out of the lap there. So let's go to Shiv coming through bus stop chicane. It's Mr. Rage now goes on to provisional pole. It's a 54.8. He's took 6/10 out of Rob Wills. Shiv off the last corner. How much does he improve? He gets himself up to P7 now as the track evolves more and more, and Leighton even with the lift goes up to P3 and Pelly now. P2 and Alvin Evans onto provisional pole, but where is Stephen? He's got an Alpha Tauri right in front of him and he's going to have to be careful here. He's caught up with Kristaps in the lap, and has he caught up too late? Is it going to cost him too much time? Off the last corner come both Stephen and Kristaps. Who improves? Can he get pole position? And did he get it? I don't know. I don't know if he got it. It was only P5 and he opens the lap too close to Kristaps, trying to take the checker flag. And that was it for SPW, but only 3/10 split in the top 5. What an entertaining end to qualifying that was. And I don't think they can do much about there. I'm a little bit head spun with that one. And Alvin Evans on pole position in OTL with 54.6. Mr. Rage P2, Nut Potato 3, Pelly 4, SPW 5, Rob 6, Leighton 7, Nelly P8, Kristaps P9, and Surge rounds out the top 10. Dix, of course, got P6 in qualifying there. Failed to P11 with that 5 place grid penalty for illegal blocking. Then it's Shiv, Mika, ENTXJ, and I don't think I'll be able to catch the last of the grid. Chubby Slug, Matty, and I may just be able to see it here. Skarma at the rear. Yeah, that's unfortunate, Stephen. Both of you chasing the line at the end there. Both on a lap as well. Kristaps also improved. Just, yeah. I reckon that was pole otherwise. But you're in the fight, only 2/10 away after getting blocked for or not blocked, but having a car that close to you in the last sector. Take confidence into the race, sir. Some brotherly love in the chat, so happiness for the drivers, I think, as they see some dry weather. And we can just go and have 22 good solid laps of racing. Spa usually can be very entertaining. We'll probably see 3-4 wide at one point going up the Kemmel Straight. It's just about picking your line and sticking to it. Do not encroach another driver's line, of course, if you're in 3-4 wide. And be willing to back out of a situation if you think you're going to get your nose cut off. It's not worth getting spun early. 22 laps, there's plenty of opportunity. Good probability of safety car at Spa, especially Poo on exit. A lot of drivers too aggressive. Inside cup, that'll whip the car around. If you hit the Tech Pro on the inside, it will take your wheel off. That will trigger a safety car because the car tends to be right on the firing line. Coming down the hill, extreme dries to extreme windies. I like it. I like it. But there's no point in extreme dry for you saying extreme wets. Yeah, because they don't use wets in F1. Nice to see some real drivers using some wet tyres, not being scared. Yeah, I'm messing. So, the timer is on. I will do my best to get some data on the screen, but of course no formation lap. As we get one lights. Oh, there is a formation lap. I take that back. Which I guess is nice. It's fine when Amon comes. I think we should try and at least get it back on now. So when Evans leads the way, Mr. Vage will be alongside him in row 1. Row 2 will be Nude, Potato and Pelly, and all Aston Martin row 2. Row 3 will be Stephen and Rob. Well, Stephen probably the hardest hit in qualifying there. He looked favourite through the wet conditions. Then row 4 will be Leighton and Nelly. Row 5, Kristaps and Subs. Row 6 will be Shiv and Mika Lando. Row 7 will be Ian, TXJ and Chubby Slug. Row 8, Matty and Dixie. Dixie somehow ended up back in P16, I'm not quite sure what's happened there. And row 9 will be Skarma. No, you're good, Adam. It's probably a bug. It doesn't affect me on comms anyway, so let's have a look at the tiles. That's what we should have a look at. So Nude, Potato, Kristaps, Shiv, Mika, Matty and Skarma all on the medium compound. Every other driver on the hard. Medium tyre, although you will find an advantage, it gets very, very hot at Spa. You're talking 104 degrees, sector 2, 105, so it's not really the tyre you want to be driving on the high fuel. Hard tyre is much, much better, it's more durable. And a high dig circuit, I mean, even the hard tyres, they're going to be looking about 55% come lap 8 or 9. So that's going to be something they'll need to be aware of as they all come down the back straight on that formation lap. We will go to Skarma because of course he'll be the last man to form the queue, although I think that is Nude, Potato or Pelly catching them up, and they've got to be careful they're coming through because they need to get disqualified. So, Scum will be the last man. Let's go back to position change. We'll watch Skarma taking this one and then we'll go to the front of the grid. Oh, Skarma got himself disqualified, so we'll go to Alvin as round R-12-SPA gets underway. It's lights out, and who gets the better start on the run up to turn 2? Now it usually gets a bit congested here, so you just got to feel your way through, and somebody further back there getting a good start. The Aston Martins will be side by side into turn 2. In fact, I think Nude Potato's got a good squeeze on. Race there, it's Nude Potato's round, he's in the wall, and that's an early retirement. This could be an early safety car in the race. It's a full course yellow VSC out at the moment, and Nude Potato, I don't know if he's dropped the car there or he's been tagged by his teammate in Pelly there. But full course yellow, we're under VSC. And guys, we'll need to stick to that delta. So in all that melee, as Alvin Evan goes very deep at turn 1. We've got Pelly, Stephen, Kristaps, Pelly and Stephen both up 1 position. Kristaps up for Michelando at 6. Skarma, Matty and ENTXJ all gainers in the session. Rob Wills, Surge, Shiv and Chubby Slug all down a position off the start, still under full course yellow, so we'll get back to green flag any moment, I'm pretty sure. And Mr. Rage picks up a drive through for speeding under the VSC, so that's going to be his race hampered. I think he tried to push too hard on the restart. The Delta has went into the red, and that is going to cost him dearly as he touches the coming inside and round he goes. As we were on board with Rage, so Rage now filters down the order, so be Alvin Evans from Pelly, from SPW and Kristaps. Mika Lando now got himself up inside the top 5 as SBS Leighton gets himself into P6. So all now starting to gain. Nelly finally starts to get a position. He's up to P7, and I think Rage has managed to get himself settled and re-going again in P8. So Rage, no, he's not too bad at all. Off the spin, but Kristaps starting to be the cork in the bottle. He's the one falling, making that midfield pack split away from the DRS. Just to say that though, he gets the gap back under a second as Alvin Evans takes the fastest lap, as to be expected on the opening lap of the race. And after the first lap, he's been able to maintain that lead. Let's filter back down the order. We've got Matty and Surge doing battle here as Matty leaves some space for Surge on the exit. Surge trying to go for the cutback. A little bit of contact, but Matty done his best to open the car up and open the door. Let's have a look now, because Kristaps, oh, it's Mika Lando, what's up in there? I think he's dropped it. Radion up over the hill, and he will now fall down the order. Now bit for Mika Lando's Matty and Surge, and Matty's straight line speed is absolutely insane. And who's this trying to peek up the inside? Bob Wells nearly getting his nose taken off, as we've got Skarma as well coming into the back of this battle, as Nelly and Leighton now go wheel to wheel down the hill, and I think Leighton will get through there on the inside. He's got himself up to P5 now, and on the charge he's starting to make some gains now, chasing down Kristaps. A possible warning there for Leighton. But Arwen, Pelly and Stephen, they're really starting to check out now out in front. These guys' pace just a little bit better than those behind at the moment. And Stephen, I think, in a very comfortable position. He's not even using any energy. Setting purple sectors alight, so pace is with the Alpine man. Oh, there's a little moment there. So DRS will be enabled this lap, and this is when we'll start to see overtakes happen. So Pelly sets the fastest lap of the race, and he's sitting pretty comfortable at the moment in P1, P2, sitting with bags of energy, but then as is Arwen, so it's very even pace between the top drivers. Is Pelly going to be able to get through though and put some distance between himself and the Williams man? There's a bit of an oversteer moment, that's just the dirty air causing that. He'll get on the energy though, DRS will open. How much straight line speed has he got in the car? I think he's going to put Arwen under pressure here. He'll come up, he'll pull out, they'll go side by side down into turn 3, but I think Pelly just chose to get out of that one there. Not taking any risks, only lap 3 of the race. Lots of opportunities to come. Red Bull having a good day, P6 and 7 at the moment. Iced up the constructors, McLaren as well, P8 and 10. Scoring a good couple of points, of course, very early doors in the race. But it's Spa, for me, the laps tick by pretty quickly. It is a longer lap, of course, but yeah. Just feel like the minute you get going in this race, it's pretty much ready for the end. Or you get ready for a pit stop, so early pace is critical for me, in my opinion. As ENTSG gets on the push. And let's go to this battle up front because it's getting spicy here between SPW, Pelly and Alwyn. As they all start to push each other under pressure. Is SPW going to be able to make the move? I don't think so, not into turn 1. This is where the opportunity comes. Get a good run through, down through Eau Rouge and up over Radion. Can you pounce? Alwyn has been able to do some good distance on Pelly through turn 1. Mr. Race is the fastest lap of the race. SPW just playing it safe up over the hill, having a little bit of lift. And I think we're just seeing some smart driving here for the guys in front. You know, it's a long game. We've got a yellow flag, sector 1. Is that somebody round? Marty, I think, dropped it. At Eau Rouge, he's got going again in P13. Thinks he got himself back onto the back of the queue for the top 10 fight. And ENTXJ's got through in his teammates, so Leighton down to P7. He's still going on nicely. First race with no assists. I don't think he can be too complaining if Mr. Race picks up a time penalty for multiple warnings. Where is Mr. Rage? Down in P14. And Pelly, the first man inside the top 3 in this battle to pick up that early penalty. Let's go to that fight because it's getting very juicy. Is Pelly going to try and put Alwyn under pressure in to bust up chicane? We're going to see a late dive on the brakes. He thought about it, but not this time around. SPW will be stalking there, and Pelly's maybe coaxed Alwyn deep into the brakes. They're going to touch a little bit, and SPW now will get the run on Pelly. Here we go. They're going to be side by side running up towards turn 1. Who gets the better on the brakes and who can be more bold on the exit? They're still side by side, and I think Pelly will need to tuck in behind here. SPW able to jump from that mistake is a small twitch. Obviously, you're coming off a turn 1, but able to get that job done, capitalising on not so much a mistake for Pelly, just unable to get through. Alwyn is round. Alwyn, the race leader, has dropped the car up over the hill. The wing has exploded. He's still in the race, but SPW takes over the race lead now. And is that a safety car out? Oh, and Alwyn Evans gets disqualified trying to get the car out the wall for going the wrong way. No, what a way for the race to end. That is ruthless there from Codemaster. So safety car out. And we get a bit of a reset in the race. Get myself a little drink while we're on the safety car chat. So, still a bit away from picking the safety car up. And once everybody has done that, we will pick up the running order. This came at a bad time for the medium tyre. Let's go see though. Don't think anybody will pit. Pelly is going into the pits, so that's interesting. So there is going to be a raft of pit stops. I'm very intrigued by that. Rob Wills now up to P3, Leighton back up to P4, stops P5. Dixie got himself up to P6 with the pit stops. Pellet opting for a new medium tyre. That's interesting. Rage unable to get through in Pellet. So Pellet came out P7. Gave up 5 positions there for that pit stop. Not so sure if that was worth it. We'll see though. Maybe he could push through nice and early in the medium tyre. So is there going to be any change at the rear? There is not. So there are another will be when we get going again. SPWP1, J2. Rob Wills P3. Leighton 4, Surge 5, Dixie 6. Pelly P7. Rage P8, Kristaps P9, Nelly 10, Shiv P11, Skarma P12, Matty P13, Chubby Slug 14, Mikando P15, and we've lost Noob Potato in that lap 1. Don't know if it was an instant, we can call it an instant for now. And Arvin Evans getting wrongfully disqualified from the session. Which then triggered the safety car. We get a bit of a race reset. We'll get going again just before the halfway point of the race, so can expect some good stuff now. And the order's been mixed up a bit, which always makes it even more interesting. Come on, picking up a time penalty for multiple long runs. So I think it'll be one more lap. On the safety car, we'll get going on lap 8. SPW has the idea. This is the lap you probably want to work the tyres hard. Get them up into that window. Safety car, of course, pretty slow through that middle sector. So you get a lot of temperature drop off. So work them nicely in the first sector. Then good bit of work in the last sector and have them nice and ready for that race restart, because having a tyre in the window for the restart is a big advantage this year. So let's have a look at the penalties. We'll have this little break. Rage on 6 seconds, Pelly's got 3, Shiv's got 3, Chubby Slug's got 3. Other than that, everything's okay at the moment. Nice if we can see warnings. We'll look at position change. Ian TSJ up 11. Dixie up 10 from the back of the grid. He's got himself up inside the top 6. He'll be pretty happy with how his race is going. Surge is in P5, Leighton P4. He's having a good debut to no assist racing. So Stephen will get the call just after the next corner, I am pretty sure. Safety car in this lap. And it will pop up now. There it is, safety car in this lap. So Stephen becomes the pace setter. It's down to him to run the grid up to the line and then release on his terms. He gets all the advantage, of course, being in that P1 position. So can he capitalise on that? He's letting the safety car get away, so he wants full control here. Keeping the pack nice and compressed. Nice steady speed as well, not really changing too much. and I think it's just going to be a release off the last corner. So here we go, back to racing speed. The green flag is away, and it's a pretty reasonable restart between SPW and ENTXJ. Jay all over the back of Stephen at the moment. Rob Wills has got himself going again nicely, just needs to be careful and aware of Leighton and Surge in behind. But are we going to see ENTXJ try put a bit of a push on and put SPW under pressure up the Kemmel straight as he comes up over Radion? Is there going to be a push here? SPW will get on the energy as well. We will watch here as they come up the Kemmel straight off the restart. It's SPW P1, ENTXJ P2, and he will not get close enough down into Tom 3 to make the move. Rob Wills covers off Leighton in P4. Surge is still there in P5. Pelly's still, he's got himself put through actually to P6. Dixie putting up a bit of a fight now. He can do his best here to hold Rage up. He's got to get the elbows out and put up a bit of a fight here. Some good points in offer. And of course Rage has got that time penalty, so he'll be pushing to get through. That could be a spicy battle and down. We've got Nelly coming to get involved in that fresh medium compound tyre. So Pelly's starting to make gains. Of course Pelly's one of the drivers at pit there, so he's definitely going to be one to keep an eye on. It's ENTXJ and SPW. I think SPW possibly had a bit of a moment there, and ENTXJ being able to jump himself through. And Rob Wills keeping himself in touch with this lead group as well. And it's pretty much a DRS train. It's Pelly and Surge now. We go wheel to wheel. Surge getting through, or Pelly getting through, sorry, on another driver. It's Mika Lando, the tyre from possession. Could this be a safety car? It is. Full course safety car out yet again. Now those on the medium tyre, are they going to pit? It was a late call for all, and ooh, that is an interesting one. Indeed, so do those on the medium tyre. I think they're all, everybody on the hards into the mediums. Those in the mediums will carry on, they just have to. Your pit stop, bud. So, off of that now, it's Pelly P1, Nelly P2, Chris Taps 3, Skarma 4, Shiv 5, Chubby Slovic 6, Marty P7, ENTXJ 8, SPW 9, Surge 10, Rob 11, Adam P12, Leighton P13 and Rage P14. How the race has changed yet again as we go on to pretty much the halfway point of the race. And is the weather changing? That's interesting. Have we got some rain inbound? Is this why people took that early decision for the medium tyre? Because they knew that there was rain to come? Well. So I'm pretty sure we'll just get safety car in this lap straight away. No reason to go another lap. Although it's Cody, so I could be wrong. So no safety car in this lap, we will go for one more. So bear with me chat, I'll use this lap to quickly grab the restroom. So I am back, chat, and just in time for the safety car in this lap call. Couldn't have timed it much better if I tried. So it's Pelly's turn to release the pack on this ever-changing race. Now if the rain doesn't come, it changes even more. Well, let's just see how it goes. So let's go to Pelly. It's on him to do the restart. As Nelly is tucked up in behind, he'll be eyeing the race victory now. It looked grim at one point, but he's got himself back up into a fighting position with that pit stop off the last safety car. And here goes Pelly. I think he's going to get going straight away off the last corner. So we're back to green flag racing. We'll filter down the order. Who gets the capitalisation on the restart? Chubby Slug pretty close to shift here on the restart. Oh no, Mika, that's unfortunate. And Rob Shivs went a little bit deep, so Chubby Slug will be able to get the run now as they head down towards Eau Rouge for the first time off the second safety car restart. And Chubby Slug will be ahead up over Radion. And is Shiv going to try and put him under attack back under the slipstream? This is the closest battle at the moment. We've got ENTXG not far behind as well. So let's watch the Red Bull coming to get involved. I think we've got Matty and Steven side by side. I think Steven's going to get through on the restart. He's on that medium compound tyre and through Steven goes. Matty just needs to be aware now. The Sur's trying to get through in that medium compound. Of course, the medium will fire up much better. SPW will be trying to push through. He wants to make some recovery, as does ENTXG. They both guys pit off of that safety car. And if the rain's not going to come, they need to make the most of that medium tyre while they can. But Pelly got a nice 1.2 second buffer now out at front. Seems very comfortable. He's got that medium tyre fired up nicely. And starting to build a nice cushion to Pelly. Nelly, sorry, will not be worrying too much. Of course, Pelly's got that penalty. And Kristap's still in that podium position. Skarma not far away as well, but Chubby Slug all over the back. Trying to push through now, and he'll be very aware of the looming ENTXG. And here comes Chubby Slug now, so Skarma will need to be aware, because I think Man is going to come for some. And Man can't afford to push through. Bus stop here, because there's no DRS for another couple of laps. He's going to go for it on the brakes on the inside. They'll be side by side into bus stop chicane. Mataman will leave the space on the inside, as well Skarma. Now it's all about who gets the better exit, and I think Mataman's got the job done there. So he goes to Skarma. Good bit of racing there, and Skarma need to be aware, because ENTXG might try and make a move down into turn 1. Not this time around. He thinks better of it. And let's see what's happening further down the order. We've got Matty and Surge doing a bit of side by side racing. I think Matty's just got through. Well, Bill's going to try and put Matty under some pressure now. He tuck under the rear wing of that Ferrari. Matty picks up a time penalty for Uncle Warman. Touch the gas a little bit. Coming up over Radion as well. So that's going to give Robert all the opportunity he needs to try and slingshot out into that clean air. He will get a bit of a toe, but Matty just seems to have some more straight line speed in the car. So Robble's maybe going to have to get creative with the downforce he's running and try and get the move done. Maybe down the hill here. He's got to focus on the exit. Can he get the run? Get on the energy. Do something on the brakes. Not going to be able to this time around. We'll filter back down the order, because we've got ENTXG and SPW starting to push on back through now. They're in hot pursuit of Chubby Slug. Kristap's Nelly and Pelly up there in P1. And Nelly and Pelly, that's starting to become a theme of OTL. ENTXG looking a little bit aggressive on the curbs, and need to be aware of that. Mataman just needs to not worry about the pressure from behind as well. Understand that the guys that are chasing you are on a better tyre, even if they get through. There is some good clean air behind as ENTXG pushes through up towards Blanchimont. And Mataman's going to try something round the outside against Jay. He'll have the inside line now. SPW can come and try and get involved here. Oh, there's the back contact between the two of them, and that opens nearly a portal there for SPW to try and sneak through in the inside. He's going to think about it in the brakes. Mataman now will go round the long way, try and make the move on the inside line, but I think that better tyre will prevail, and he'll have to tuck in behind. He made the most of the fight as he could, but definitely allowed SPW to get involved in the fight with ENTXG more. The gap had opened up, and I think This now might be all SPW needs to get through an ENTSJ. Here he goes, pulls out the slipstream, and he will go alongside and through, and SPW gets himself back up to P4. And I think you can pay a little bit of thanks there to Mataman. Is Mataman, is he going to try and go back through an ENTXJ here? They're going to be side by side, come through turn 5, but I don't think Mataman can do much on that older hard compound tyre. Some cracking racing off the restart between the drivers here. Some very, very entertaining stuff. So SPW in pursuit now of Kristaps, and then a bit of a gap, 5.3 seconds to those two out front. Pelly leads Nelly by 1.5 seconds. It's kind of been the gap from the restart. It's not changing much. Both guys pumping the energy in, they are pushing hard, but of course they're on an older medium compound tyre. In fact, let's have a look at that. They're on a 7-lap old tyre. That medium tyre is not going to the end. It's not going to do 15 laps, no way Jose. So SPW back into provisional P1, well Kristaps going to come back up into the bus stop chicane, and I think that'll be way too deep in the brakes, so they'll have the inside line. SPW though, lovely move in, return back, round the outside on the bus stop chicane, and concedes Kristaps back to P4. And SPW now will be hoping for ENTSG to get involved with the Alpha Tauri man, and wow, ENTSG's got an absolutely tremendous exit off for turn 1, but Kristaps will get on the energy and put the defence on. And has he lost though? Has he lost the DRS, Kristaps? Yes, he has. So ENTSG will go through and the safety car is out, and this is the get out of jail card that Pelly and Nelly needed. Shiv picked up a time penalty for turn 1, and Dixie and Leighton, I think they had a little bit of a moment. Has Dixie lost his wing? Or did they just have to stop for the Delta? I wonder what happened there. So, does everything now box to the soft compound tyre? That is the question. If you've got a new soft, I think it's worth the risk. I think if there was any weather due, I don't think it's going to come now. So we are about to find out. Pelly not going in. Did he bait Nelly into the pit cell? That's interesting. Is SPW going to stay out? He chooses to stay out on that medium compound tyre. He wants track position. Kristaps in. ENTSJ goes in. Chubby slog in. Matty and Shivan. Oh, and now ENTSJ has got this very, very good indeed. If he can jump Kristaps in the pit stop here, as is Nelly, SPW could come under big pressure off the restart here, because it's going to be a whole raft of new soft compound tyre. Only gets Surge as a buffer. Surge coming in, or staying out, sorry, on that medium compound tyre. He follows the strategy of Stephen. Now, if we get back racing on lap 16, it's going to be a stretch for the softs. Mark my words that they closing laps. If they don't get the job done in the first couple, they're not going to get through at all. So those further back in the order, I think it was better for them to actually stay out. Dixie onto a fresh medium, now that could be interesting. He could be one to watch, because that could be a great call. Chubby slog on the medium tyre as well. I think also a good choice. I think that's better than the soft for 7 laps. So, after pit stops now in the third safety car of the day, it's Pelly P1, Stephen P2, Surge P3, Nelly P4, and all Shari second row, and Alfa Romeo. Chris Staps and Chubby Slug P5 and 6, ENTS JP7 and Matty P8, Rage P9, Shir P10, Dixie P11, Skarma 12 and Rob Wells P13. How does this play out? Are we going to see some team orders here? Between Nelly and Surge? Or does Surge feel that he's on the better strategy here and it's his podium this week? So one more lap under the safety car, Rob Wilson and Skarma both pitting. Is that onto another fresh soft compound tyre? Now that could be also a clever little tactic there. Just to give them a bit more than the others on the soft round about them. I'm pretty sure they will get going on this next lap. So, Rob Wills will be back on the park. He's not going to lose any time at all taking that pit stop. And it's going to be Pelly on a weakened medium tyre. He's got some stint ahead of him here to try and hold on to a result as Pelly or the podium. I believe he's got it in him. It's just not going to be an easy task. That car will be a handful in the last couple of laps of the race. So we will get the notice now, safety car in this lap, no. Oh. Come on Rob. Rob. Oh, Rob. Well, that's not good. Question mark? Jay, what do you mean? Yeah, that was some definite holding there. I felt that the pack should have been released that lap. Yeah, it was, it's noted. Oh, and Pelly there, nearly overtaking the safety car. So this will be the lap where we get safety car in this lap. I'm almost sure of it. And Pelly need to be careful there. And there we go, we get the notification safety car in this lap, so we will have 5 laps of racing at the end. And Pelly releases much earlier than the rest, so back to green flag racing. SPW reacts to it pretty well, gets it nice and tidy through bus stop, a little bit wide on the exit, but that'll allow him to open the car up and get the launch, and away he goes. So it's Pelly from Stephen from Sod, from Nelly, Kristaps P5, Chubby Slug P6, J7 and Matty P8, SBS Rage P9 and Shiv in there in P10. Dicey close behind on his fresh major compound tyre, but here comes Sods now in SPW 2 tenths behind. Well, he gets a good run up over Radion. And SPW, I don't think it's going to push too hard. He knows he just needs to stay with Pelly at this point. 5 laps to go. Is Nelly now released through? Is this a bit of team orders here? Is he going to put SPW under pressure now? SPW, of course, is not going to make this easy. There's 5 laps to go. And this is the race victory they are racing for. It's Chubby Slug now, gets overtaken there, I think just further back by ENTXJ, also on that fresh rubber, on the fresh soft compound tyre, so they need to make it work in these next couple of laps. As I said, the tyre drop off on the soft is pretty remarkable, and even at the end of this first opening lap, they're going to be pretty much quarter done on the tyres, 20%. SPW keeping them at bay for the moment. A bit of an energy advantage. And it is status quo for now, and here comes ENTXJ trying to put Kristaps under a bit of pressure here. He's pushing on his fresh soft compound tyre. Need to be careful there, through launch him on the energy. SBS Rage picks up another time penalty for multiple warnings. Jay try to come down the inside, and that's going to be what looks a very, very good overtake there. Is a snap over here, so Kristaps will get the better exit now off bus stop chicane. And Jay will need to concede that place, I think, for this time around. Is he going to try and sneak it up the inside again at turn 1? A little bit of contact there. Kristaps pushed over the curb. Oh, and Kristaps ended up losing out to Chubby Slug as well. So Chubby Slug gets himself up inside the top 6 on his fresh medium compound tyre. And is nearly close enough now to make any moves on SPW. And there's somebody around. Chubby Slug is out. And could this be another safety car? I don't think so. I don't think we'll get one now with 3 laps to go. And I think Pelly at the moment is doing just enough to get himself away from Suggs. Maybe we might just get Suggs onto the podium. Pelly, of course, will start to suffer severely in the closing laps of the race. And Rob Wells picks up a time penalty for multiple women's. He's down there in P10. So the soft tyre not working as well as maybe some expected. And from about now, you're not going to get much from the tyre at all. The Skarma picks up another time penalty for multiple warnings. Mr. Rage, I think they're getting through. Matty further back in the order. DRS enabled. And this is where Stephen could come under pressure. He locks up the front tyres, and that's going to allow Nelly to get very, very close indeed. And he won't have any DRS assistance, so SPW maybe about to lose the net race lead after penalties. on lap 20 of 22. And the DRS will open for Nelly. He's using every bit of energy. SPW is using it as well. He's going to cover off that. Nelly will switch across the racing line with the DRS, try and go round the long way. But SPW is able to close that off. He retains the first position, or that position at the moment. And SBS Radio, what's happened there? Oh, there's been some monumental contact between Rage, E and THJ. We've got Dixon now up to P6 and putting Rob Wills under pressure. Further back in the order, and Nelly still all over the back of SPW. Surge is slowly falling away and falling outside that penalty window, but he is secure in P4. So a good day in the office for the Alfa Romeo boys. But this is the battle between SPW and Nelly. It is full elbows out racing. So it will continue for another lap. SPW needs to find just a couple of tenths, try and get up on Pelly. He's got a little bit of an energy advantage as they both come steaming up the back, straight up towards Blanchimon, and SPW might have got himself inside that DRS window, which should help him hold off Nelly for the last couple of laps. Now, can he get it on track? And if he could get through Pelly, he could put a car between himself. Oh, this is a big moment, and Nelly put the car on the wall. Nelly's going to get through, and that's the mistake Nelly needed to capitalise through. And SPW just needs to settle back down. He's still got a couple of laps to go. Nelly's tyres will be starting to suffer, but the oversteer's experience in there was astronomical. Manages to collect the car up, only gives up one position. He's still within the penalty windows, so it's still the P2. But just a little too much aggression on the oil pedal there for Stephen. Although Nelly now, no energy at all. Absolutely none. So this battle will rage on. The gaps have all opened up further back. We've got Matty and Shiv in a bit of battle here. Let's actually go see this one. Oh, side by side through Rouge. Are they going to make it work? They did. I'm glad I caught that. Matty and Shiv take a bit of side by side racing down through Rouge and up over Radian. You don't see that very often. But let's go back to this lead battle. We've got Stephen back in the DRS window of Nelly. Nelly's going to go wide of the chicane in sector 2, so Stephen will close that gap up even more. He's got it down to half a second, and are we going to see some more overtaking between these two before the end of the race? Pelly is doing as much as he possibly can to keep himself outside the DRS window, but now Nelly and SPW both get themselves inside that window and pretty comfortably. So Pelly is going to come under pressure as we go on to what is going to be the last lap of the race. Now this is going to be it for SPW. Can he get the job done? He's got to focus on a good exit. Don't snatch that front lock up into turn 1, and big push up the Camel Straight into turn 4 to get the job done. Nelly gets a reasonable enough exit, as does SPW. Gap 6/10 of a second, and it might just be too much. Pelly is using every bit of energy he's got. Nelly's only at 5%, SPW at 9, so he may have the energy to push on through and get something here. DRS will open, and can he gain enough up the Camel Straight for the very last time? And he's gaining, but it's not going to be enough this time around. He'll have to be cautious as they get on the brakes. It's nose to tail for a front free in the very last lap of this Belgian Grand Prix, and SPW is absolutely stalking Nelly. Now Nelly's going to have to get defensive if they come down now, and SPW will try and roll it around the long way. Nelly's got that one covered off, so SPW now look for the cutback and try and maintain some momentum. Small bit of contact here, but Nelly's parking the car in all the right places. Now SPW can save up a bit of energy and maybe get something down into the bus stop chicane. Pelly's still holding on there out in front. Of course he's got that time penalty, but he's got enough gap to stay in the podium. And what an ending we are being treated to here at this Belgian Grand Prix. So there's going to be one more opportunity for SPW and for Nelly to get the job done, and it's going to be up into the bus stop chicane. And Pelly now is really backing these guys up. It's going to be super intense as they come up the back straight towards Blanchimon for the very last time. SPW gets on the energy. Nelly's going to try and push through, but Pelly's got him covered there. So here comes SPW. Is he going to be able to get close enough? Nelly's had to have a little bit of lift there. Are we going to see any big moves into the last chicane for the very last time? Bust up, here we go. SPW tries to be deep on the brakes. There's a small bit of contact, and SPW sees a gap in the inside line, but he can't quite get it there. And Pelly's going to see the checker flag, but after penalties he will lose out. Nelly will win the the Belgian Grand Prix SPW P2. Nelly, Pelly comes home in P3. Surge gets fourth, probably his result of the season. Robbos recovers to P5, Dixie gets a top 6, Skalma just a little behind in P7, Kristaps P8, Matty 9, Chev P10, Rage P11, and ENTXJ will come home in P12. Oh, he's beached. Man was stuck. What an ending. Nelly and Stephen take a bow. Take a bow, boys. What an entertaining race that was. So, let's wait for the official ending. Actually, I need to get that confirmation for Jensen as Jay comes over the line backwards with a puncture. I know, I'm going to start calling you the puncture god. Scammer picking up driver of the day from the game. Nelly equals GOAT. It was a very, that was tremendous racing at the end there. That small mistake from SPW at a bust up. The run of good form for Stephen continues. It's 5 podiums in a row, 3 wins, a third and a second. I think he can still be very happy with the current form. Only loses out by half a second. Pelly on the podium as well. Surge P4, Robbos 5, Dixie P6, Skalma 7, Kristaps P8, Shiv P9, and Matty rounds out the top 10. And it was Rage, ENTXJ, and we lost Chubby Slug, Leighton, Michelando, and the Potato, and Arvin Evans from the race. So let's get Nelly, Stephen, and where is Pelly for the podium? Let's get them in. So who joined us? Who joined us first? Nelly's in, Stephen's in. Just get Pelly to join. Oh, we can just start. We'll just carry on. Pelly will join in. We'll start with yourself, Nelly. Are you here? Hello? Nelly?
I'm just texting my new girlfriend that she's there. Oh, winner. No, go for it.
Oh,
yes! Come on!
Nelly, firstly, try not move your headset too much. It's very
sorry.
crackly.
Hang on.
Firstly, wow. That was very. That's probably one of the most intense races I've watched in OTL for a long time. You and Stephen put on a spectacular show. Some very good racing. So I think it's clear to see. Very happy with that one. Nelly, talk us through it.
Oh my god, yes! Come on! Let me just celebrate for 2 minutes, hang on. Yes! Steve, if there's one guy I didn't want to, have a fight with at the end, it was Steven. He's just a genius on track, but, and those softs, they didn't feel great, but, I just survived. I had 2 warnings after lap 2, but brought it home. First win since, is this season 6 we're on?
5.
Season 5. It's my first win since season 4 Bahrain opener. But yeah, oh my god, it was so intense. Massive shout out to Serge for letting me go. I would have got him anyway because he's running 50-50 wings or something, but wow. Oh my god, what a race. You
Yeah,
just got to know with Spa that there's so many safety cars, so if you have the chance to box straight away. Me and Pelly did that on the first stint. We survived. I didn't get any penalties. Pelly was backing me into Steven at the end. I was trying to survive. I know Pelly's mediums were going off, but wow. Okay. Yeah. Just it's just great to be a winner again. It's been a while. So yeah. GG's
finally.
to everyone.
We did say though, if you kept good racing up, that the win would come.
I know it's taken me nearly a year, but like
Trust it to be faithful old Spa.
Oh, it has to be faithful old Spa in it. I don't think I've won Spa in it. Spa's one of the few tracks I haven't won in OTO.
Yeah.
But like yeah, so yeah, that's amazing. Just GG's to everyone. That was it. Oh my god, I wish I wasn't working. I'd go get absolutely hammered right now.
So yeah, Nelly, your race was, well, it was really a tale of the two safety cars, right? I think no matter what strategy you went on the first stint with the second this first safety car, with the second one come out, it opened the race right up, and it was a kind of limit of, would the softs work, or was it better just to stay in the mediums? And I think even still at the end of the race, it was very even. Were you
Definitely.
worried that the win wasn't there, and then when you see, of course, Stephen make that bit of an oversteer mistake out a bus stop, you have to
Crap, I
capitalise on
forgot about
that
that.
straight away,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah, I had to. It with an oversteer, it's really scary because they turn left, but then they turn into it, and then they turn into it again. Half a second thought, this is the race over, but I just kept. It was more. The more scary point was trying to relax behind Pelly on the last lap, but Steven was just there. I just couldn't do any. I couldn't like fully overtake Pelly. I didn't have the grip of like a new soft inner. But
Yeah.
that was the scary moments. Yeah, the softs were a gamble, but every single race start, I had Chris Stapps as a buffer. Thank you, buddy.
So nevertheless,
yeah.
Nelly, very, very good job on the victory.
Big
Finally
energy.
to see you back on the P1 spot.
Let's go. Thank you,
And
guys.
in terms of championship, that's exactly the kind of points you need to be scoring. So very good job, sir, and I wish you well and more victories going forward.
Cheers, Chris. A pleasure as always. Thank God you were streaming this week.
I know, I picked a good one to come back. Stephen,
Respect. GG's, everyone.
P2, what could have been? One little mistake. I think for me, I think you were probably on prime strategy. If you don't have that little moment in the second, after the second safety car at bus stop, I think you're in the DRS window and have enough energy and tap compared to the other two round about you to hold Nelly off. But still, it's 5 races, 5 podiums, 3 wins, a third and a second. The consistency is very much there. I do not, sir. I'm just an old gen owner. I apologise. Still though, as we say, it's another podium. 5 races, 5 podiums. You're showing the strongest consistency. You only joined back not so long ago, and it's the best run of any driver in the season so far. So you keep that up, you keep climbing that championship, I think you could be right in the title fight with 5, 6 races to go.
No, I think it's a bit too far for that. It's been okay. It's like two wins I thought I should have won and I have won, which is a bit annoying. One realistic, one on this, but not much I can do about it. Like, just unlucky with safety cars, and then just Nelly was a bit too fast and myself deep behind, even though I tried my best in the
You put some stout defence up the Kemmel Straight.
going through, and then I had a run in the last lap. Maybe I got a better run on him down. I don't know what you call it. It's like the downhill right hander. Second
Oh
corner
yeah,
coming through on him, and probably why he's outside. But Nelly just defended it well, and I couldn't get the touchback really. So that was it really.
you've made it very entertaining. It was a great watch.
Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, it does feel very nice being 3-2 and it could have been 3-1.
No, of course not. But did you enjoy that race? It looked an enjoyable race to be racing in.
Um, it was okay. I always enjoy battling Nelly. Like I like defending. But yeah, it was a fun race. But after win loss, I think wasn't really important. Maybe winning as a full really. Maybe you could argue that the snap, but I thought they would have really gone by then. To get P2 wasn't too good.
As you say, P2 is not bad at all, Stephen. I think you're looking down on it too much. I think 5 podiums in a row is very good. Of course, you're a natural winner, though. We know that very well, so I understand your disappointment.
I wouldn't go that far.
Well, you want to win. We don't race to come second, right?
Alright.
Exactly. So very good job nevertheless, Stephen. A solid P2. Another good day in the office in terms of consistency. And did Pelly join? Oh, he did. Pelly is here. Pelly, P3, you took the checker flag first. P3 in
Yeah.
the end after a time penalty. Safety cars hurt. Um, what could have been, but still nevertheless a good bit of points. A good race. You were under some severe pressure in the closing laps of the race, but managed to just keep it decent on a tyre that was probably absolutely dead. Talk us through
Yeah.
your race.
Well, I should be happy because it's like the first time since uh, probably like a lot of races when I'm back on the podium, but I am not right now. Probably after a few days I will be, but not now because I think I had the speed to win. I think I was on part like fastest of the dirt track. Like it's just annoying because like I had great. I was like the first who pitted on the first safety car, and I think Nelly pitted too, but he was like 3 places behind me, and the rest like still at the pit. So if there was no safety car, I would have gotten pit stop lead. But then the safety came out of. But nothing lost. Look, I tried to like after the safety race to like drive as fast as possible and like get outside to a 3 second gap with Nelly.
Yep.
And well, then the safety came out again, of course.
You're like 2 laps
Yeah,
later.
yeah, like it's just so annoying. Like, of course, like I think I was like 1.2 at the time, but we will. Like it was difficult because like I'm the first one and I didn't know if the rest would pit or not, or only Nelly would pit.
You tried
Like
to dummy me, Pelly.
I know. I was like kind of maybe hoping you would go out, like stay out, or maybe because he thought that he went in the pits. But yeah, then I saw the rest pit and I saw you before. And I thought, nah, shit. And I saw Steven getting behind me with I think 6 laps younger tires. I thought, shit, because my tires were like already 50%, and
Oh
like
wow.
so I decided like I knew like I had to push like hell because I at least want to get a podium, and maybe with Surge like maybe he's gonna like drop off a bit. So the reason that like every lap I drove like it was my last lap, and I made the gap to search, and oh, I got P2 in the end. But like the last 2 laps, I think I crashed almost 5 times. Like Oru's, I couldn't. It was so sketchy because like the tires on the last lap it was 72%.
Oh wow.
So yeah, there was just like no grip at all.
So a bit of survival at the end.
Yeah.
Know you've got the gap and know that Nelly and Steven's going to get you. So I take it you weren't, if they did come for a big move in that last lap, you probably weren't going to put much of a fight up there.
No, but like if they would have like fully clear, I wouldn't fight them. Like another, got a good run on me, but I like used my airways and I think he maybe ran out or didn't use any. I don't know.
I tried not to overtake you.
Yeah. So I thought, okay, I'm just gonna like stay and then just take the last corner normally and then finish the race.
Nevertheless, Pelly, I know maybe a race hurt by the safety car, still a podium. You keep yourself, you got to be scoring the podiums. We're in that championship fight, P1, P2, P3 is always going to keep you in the hunt. 9 races to go. So, as long as you're scoring well, the wins will come for you, I am sure, if you race the way you did this evening. And I wish you the best going forward.
I guess it was a good thing that Chantex had like a difficult race as his leader of the championship.
That's it. Just got to keep knocking them down, and the results will come your way. Anyways, good job to all, to Nelly, to Stephen, and to Pelly. And everyone else. It's a thoroughly entertaining race throughout the grid. Driver of the day, since she's first win in a little while, I think Nelly has deserved it. He put up a stout fight between him and SPW. It's a very entertaining race. So my driver of the day would be Nelly this evening.
Bang bang.
So, on that note, that'll be OTL this evening. We will be back live on Wednesday for HOR at Belgium. And an SBS Alien Crash, no doubt. So until then, we will see you very soon.